Evening everyone. Mr. Nocky, how are you, man? You alright? Wow, there's loads of you. Well, there was loads of you, now there's one of you. Good evening. Who's the one who's stuck around? Chris, you alright, man? Just doing a bit of the old non-Mets. Non-Met gold on me Stormcast, dude. Which obviously you're not going to see in the dark. Yeah, you're not going to see it really on this, but you know, I'm sure there'll be pictures. Harriman bust. What do you mean? Show more pics of the Harriman bust. I haven't done an Harriman bust. Or do you mean the Orc bust? Harriman bust? Yeah, I haven't done an Harriman bust. The pilot. All right. The World War II US gunner bust. Is that the one you mean? By Young Miniatures. I assume that's the one you mean. Oh, cheers, man. I'm glad you like it. I mean, if I'm honest, and I might be one of the few painters that is, but the photography on that model actually does me a lot of favours. I don't think it looks as human in the flesh, at least not as far as I can remember. I did paint it about 8 years ago. So let's talk photography for a little bit. Because if I'm honest, I'm tired. I feel a little rough, and I'm not gelling with painting. So, photography. Stop this wobbling. I'm glad you think I did a top job. Thank you, Mr. Mordian. So, photography's one of these funny things, as is the image, or the images we see on the internet. There's a lot of illusions going on. You know, whether it be to the way something's lit, or to the way a camera perceives the image it's taking a picture of, and then how it processes it, and then how it presents it. And then you've got the machines, the people it's being presented to are looking at the image on, you know, and so many variables, all of which are trying to create a better than life version of this image. And the better than life version of this image, all this technology is trying to create, is not geared in any way towards miniature painting. Now, that doesn't mean that it doesn't bring advantages, because it certainly does, but what they are not is real. And I just use a mobile phone for all my camera work. Samsung Galaxy S7. I don't use anything fancy, and I don't have the money for anything that might be able to take as accurate an image as possible. Because that's really what I want to show you. I want to show you my painting accurately. I don't need it to show things that the human eye can't see, which the Samsung Galaxy whatever blah 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 can do sometimes. And I don't want it to make my images look better than they actually are, which that camera can also do. Now unfortunately what they rarely do is none of those things and just give an honest representation of the model, you know. And I'm sure there's a technical reason for that. I'm not technically minded when it comes to cameras, by the way. Not at all. I'm pretty simple. I'm just pretty direct. So I get it a lot. I see other artists get it a lot, and it's things with blue, red, OSL, certain types of non-mets. You see these things on Instagram and you go, wow, so amazing. Oh, how'd you get it to glow like that? Is the camera's doing it? It's as simple as that. The camera's doing it. The camera's doing it. Your phone screen is doing it. And the fact that you're looking at a 3-dimensional object on a 2-dimensional piece of medium, all those things are tricking your eye. Yeah? That happens to my work. It happens to a number of other painters' work. So whenever you see some glowing red, like some cloak that's like, yeah, I've got an amazing technique for painting red, it probably doesn't. And when you get that model in the flesh, it's probably not going to look as radiant. Alright? Unless there's a bunch of reds out there that I don't know about. And a way of applying them that I don't comprehend. Not that I claim to know it all, because I really don't. I have my methods. I'm always open to more. I think that's what's made me a pretty versatile painter. Well, I can paint gunner busts and whatever else I paint, you know. So, to come back around, that gunner bust, the camera's done me a lot of favours there. It's softened and warmed a lot of that work up. And that was the second bust I ever painted. And some of it I'm happy with, some of it I'm not so happy with. If I was to approach that bust again, I'd do the face completely differently. Mardian, I've seen your models in the flesh, they are insanely good. Exceeded the pics I've seen. Thank you. I mean, but that illustrates my point. The point is photography rarely makes your models look real. It rarely gives an honest representation of the work in hand. It either makes them look better or shitter. And personally, I don't appreciate either of those extremes, you know. And it's a nice ego boost when this image comes out of your camera and people are like, wow, your non-mets are so amazing, and I go, yay, and I kind of sit there thinking, well, you know, is it? But there's nothing I can do about it, you know. You guys just have to get lost in the illusion. But bear in mind, that's exactly what it is you're getting lost in. And you see all these great painters on the internet, you're getting lost in an illusion. Now, at the same time, there are great painters out there that can make that illusion happen in hand. Oh yeah, you know, but it rarely comes with vibrancy of colour. Rarely. There's one painter that can hit you with vibrancy of colour, and I've seen a lot of painters, work up close and in hand. You know, top painters. You know, and I'd say the most vibrant and complete use of colour in the highest quality way is David Soper. But even then, the image you see on the screen is very much a simulation of the image you see in hand, and the camera doesn't do Dave's work half the amount of justice it should do. So yeah, I'm not trying to do myself out of any credit here. What about Darren Lavin? Well, I can't say. What I can say is the same thing I say about myself. Some images make your work look better. Some images make your work look worse. It's rarely realistic. I've spent a lot of time looking at Darren's work online. I've spent a lot of time looking at his work in the miniatures hall. The miniatures hall blows me away. You know, the images on his gallery blow me away. Do they look the same? No. Whenever I look at heavy metal stuff or Games Workshop stuff, I only ever really try and learn from the models in the flesh. That's a thing I've done for years. I'll only look and pay attention to models in the flesh where possible. And that's when I'm really trying to dissect a paint job. Now, outside of that, which is really how I've learned to develop, what I have to do is develop my ways of simulating what I think I'm looking at, which is pretty much how I've learned to paint and why I paint the way I paint. And a lot of old school painters, as I said in a recent video, a lot of old school painters, well, almost every old school painter has had to learn that way, you know, because you just don't have the resource available then that you do now. Rod's Mod says, you've held David Soper's work and no photo ever does it justice. Correct. Yeah, correct. It just doesn't do it justice. Dave Soper's work is outstanding. I mean, like, outstanding. And unless you do get to hold it in your hand, you won't know. You won't know. You'll think you know, but you won't know. You won't know. You know. So I've been on the staff side of painting competition cabinets for longer than a lot of people think, or a lot of people know. You know, I've been last 2 years, 3 years, been a judge at Salute, you know, which is no small deal. It's held in high regard. Some people disagree, but whatever. Or might disagree. I haven't really met any. But yeah, Salute's definitely a thing. And I have worked a lot of Golden Demons, and held a lot of Golden Demons in hand. Now, not as a judge, but I got to learn a lot looking at, from say like 2002 onwards, when I started helping out, and you know, kept myself to myself, because it's kind of the way I am, you know. So whose work have I got to hold in hand who might not know it? In fact, Adrian Bay won a Golden Demon for like a blood claw, like large scale blood claw, and he won that because of me. And the judges had not seen it. It was on the bottom shelf of the cabinet and it had been left alone. And it was like minutes till judging closes. And I just went up to Dave Andrews and I said, I think it was Dave Andrews, and I said, have you seen that? And should it be there? And it went from never being seen to going on to get a proper medal. What was I saying? So whose work have I seen in the flesh that I can remember? Wow. Mike Anderson's. This is at Golden Demons. Mike Anderson's, Matt Parks, Jacques Alexander Gillois. I was there for Victor. Oh, who did the Golgotha? Can't remember the name of the fellow that did Golgotha. Victor Summit. He was not happy on that day. I watched that feedback happening. That was for those that are Golden Demon painting nerds, you'll know what I'm on about. Who's else? I can't remember many names. Jacques Alexander Gillois is a name that some of you may or may not know. 10 years ago, big name. He's sculptor as well, and he sculpted a Chaos Marauder, like with a weird mutated arm, and actually won the Slayer sword that year. In fact, Matt Parks is won the Slayer sword. The one that I've held of Mike Anderson was he made it like a dragon on a what to call it, like a snow base. Kirill Kinev held his work. What else have I seen? I can't even remember. We're talking 15 odd years ago now. But anyway, I've held a lot in hand, and some photographs do it justice, other photographs don't. In fact, here's an example. You look at the Golden Demon images compared to my images of my Ragnar. So that's something you can do now. Yeah, although you're probably on your mobile phone, but if you sat at a computer, go onto the Golden Demon website, pull up an image of my Ragnar model, pull up an image of my Ragnar model on a picture that I've taken, and look at the difference, and then ask yourself, all right, which of those images is a good paint job? Ask yourself, can I judge this paint job accurately? Ask yourself, can I trust what I'm being shown? All right. Ask yourself, which is the true image? Ask yourself as many questions as you feel like asking. Ask yourself. And then get back to me with an answer. The truth? Neither image is accurate. Neither image. One is better than the other. Definitely. One is amateur and the other is not so amateur. But really, I think they're both pretty amateur. One's probably paid more money than they should. No. Yeah, but I'll let you make your mind up as to which is which. But both aren't accurate, not at all. But they're a world apart from each other. They're a world apart from each other in the golden angle chosen. A photographer has to be able to spot a golden angle of a model. Genuine. Anyway. But you get the idea. So yeah, photography. It does all sorts of weird things. Here's another interesting thing. When you look at a model in hand, you're looking at reflected light. When you look at a model on a screen, you're looking at projected light. These are two very different things. You're looking at projected light and reflected and filtered light. Two very different experiences. Is your light setting on your phone You know, like you generally have a slider bar on mine. Is your light setting on your phone set to a realistic luminosity, lucidity, or whatever it is, you know. So yeah, photography's a double-edged sword, you know. So I might take, in fact, with my old camera, I used to take like 20 or 30 pictures just to find the one that just suited best. Chris, excuse me. Yeah, Chris, you got to see some models in the flesh last week. I've done well at that I'd done well at Golden Demon. You were amazed at the difference. And I tell you what, mate, just list what you feel the differences are below, because I'd be very interested to hear what you think the differences are. I mean, they didn't take your breath away as much as the photos. Very interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. It's nice to know that the opposite was said about my work earlier on in the comments. Thank you for that. But I think my work gets both ends of the spectrum. Sometimes I take a poor image and I don't care and I just crack on. And other times I take an image that enhances my work and I just can't be bothered and I crack on. Other times I get it nailed. Sometimes I might be being hard on myself, but Chris Danish said, but you can work out how they did the thing. Is that a reminiscent comment of a time down in Bath? Not in the Bath, by the way, for those that are wondering what I've just said. Those that might not be from the UK. Wasn't as vibrant. No, because that's, you know, you look at these HD TV adverts and you look at these posh camera adverts and they're all going, wow, colour's more vibrant than real life. Well, that's what it's doing to your model. Do you know what I mean? But you don't want it. You don't want the camera to do the work. You want to be able to do that in the flesh. Blend's not as smooth. Painting Lemon, good evening. So yeah, colour's not as vibrant. Blend's not as smooth. Colour's not as vibrant, definitely. So when you see these amazing blues, yeah. So like take my what do you call it, for example? Stormcast Eternal, the one that's finished with the sword planted latch. The blues in some images on that. In fact, a lot of my images for that are pretty real, I think. Excuse me. But I think I've got one video of him on a turntable. I think the camera's really made everything extra rich on that. And accentuated a few things. What else? What else? I think my flower night gleams on the screen. I think in real life he looks crisper. At least as far as I can remember. I've probably not seen the flower night in the flesh. What year are we in now? Let's just say 6 years. I've probably not seen the flower night for 6 years. The flower night, the armour is darker in the flesh, I think, as far as I can remember, but he's sharper. Big Bad Pain, hello, good evening. What else of mine? In some images of me Ragnar, the yellow is it looks extra saturated, and it's not that saturated in real life. Ragnar's face, though, any close-ups of Ragnar's face, it probably does look that good. If I do say so myself. Reese says, I'll change the subject. Do I prefer painting non-metallics to true metallics? I'm gonna say non-metallics, not because I don't practice metallics enough to say that I've explored it enough for it to become an excitement for me, which is generally how I get excited about things. Non-metallics for me, metallics for me is generally a pretty quick process. I generally want to smash it out, it's one of the rare times I actually do base coat, wash, highlight, but it's not a wash. Never just, if you want high-end painting, never just wash something. It's crude, man. In some ways, I really miss inks. I really miss chestnut ink. Chestnut ink was a great tool for doing golds. The Seraphim sepia or sepia, whatever you want to call it, that's not a substitute for a gold wash at all. And then there was Old Armour wash, that was pretty snazzy. Nuln Oil, it's not a substitute for that. But inks had the downfalls as well in that they dried pretty shiny, so you had to be smart with them. Just made sure I had a little bit of paint in it all the time. But this is old school painting techniques, this. So yeah. There's 6, 7 folk in. Who is it? Who's in? Who's seen Joker, by the way? I just realised, unless everyone's seen Joker, I can't really talk about it. There's no spoilers. But it was pretty damn good, Joker. I got. Dun dun dun. I got one of these guys. I've actually got 3 of these guys. 3 of these guys. One is for me, I do think. One is for my good friend Colonel Christoph Keel, who you should go and follow on Facebook. I'll post it out to him as soon as I can. I was thinking I might. Don't know what I'm going to do with the others. Just to give them away to my YouTube subscribers, because I tell you what, YouTube has gone freaking nuts for me recently. Loads of people popped up. I had like 200 subscribers in the last week and a half, something like that. Never had that. What does Chris say? Not yet. Catching it tomorrow. I've heard good reviews. Yep. It's very good. It's very good. It's uncomfortable all the way through. Like the audience. I was laughing at how good it was. I was just like, this is well made. Like in the first couple of minutes, you're like, all right, I'm in, and it doesn't let you go. And there was one point where I thought, Rich, easy that, and it was a freaking red herring. They had me completely, and I was like, man. So the audience, from the word go, I'd never been in a quieter auditorium ever. It was just like, there was a group of like 7 school kids that come straight from school. They were all rowdy at the beginning, and it started and it's just like silence, and the entire movie was silence. When the movie finished, it was a fantastic movie. Everyone left in silence. it was tense all the way through. Yeah. So that was Joker. Yeah, it was. Ooh. Yeah, man. Yeah, very well made. Very, very, very well made. Yeah. Was the actor's performance as good as Heath Ledger's? Easily. Easily. You know that bit when you first, when you, I felt threatened by Heath Ledger's Joker. Alright, I felt threatened by him. You know, and you just like that first time you can hear the music going me, and you're going, oh man, what on earth? Well, Sterling, you know. Now, Joaquin's Joker. Could I say I felt threatened by him? No. But I feel incredibly uncomfortable being near him unless I gave him a reason. Ooh, yeah, tricky business. It's damn good movie. It's a damn good movie. Two things I liked about it. One was the Joker card, very clever. The second was the first giant rat you see. I actually quite like that bit. I was like, oh yeah, giant rats. It's only a small little thing. Saw a dead rat in town today. You loved J in 8mm. Is that Joaquin Phoenix's another movie, 8mm, I assume? Marius. Yeah. Yeah, Reese, go and check it out, man. Definitely go and check it out. Some might say Joaquin Phoenix's Joker performance was better than Heath Ledger's. Why? Because it was an entire movie of him convincing you that he was ill. Like, ill. And I've been in some horrible places. And I look at how he was behaving, I look at how he was acting. Convincing, man. And it actually brought a lot up for me. And I'm sure it will do for other people that have been through some similar things. I said to somebody on the internet that if you have mental health issues, you now have a hero, which is kind of a scary thing to say. The point when he becomes a Joker, there's the Joker. It's a clown Joker. It's not the same Joker we've experienced, but there's the Joker. That's what it was for me. You know, I've not seen 8mm, by the way, so I'll have to have a look for that. But Joaquin Phoenix, he was so good as as what's his face. This is his favourite role for me. Is what's his frigging name? The Emperor in Gladiator. Why is my brain gone? Yeah, definitely. Hey, do you reckon I'd make a good Mr. Freeze? Check me out, and you just need a glass dome. There you go. I'd do that. Love to act. Oh, my battery's dying. What the fudge? Brother Captain Tom, good evening. Antonio Porcino, good evening. Commodus, something like that. Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, Joker was ace, and don't trust mini photography on the internet because it's generally enhanced in some way, whether intentionally or unintentionally. So yeah, so I always try and get the best image possible, but even then, you look through the consistent, the work in progress images of this guy. Go and compare them and see how inconsistent they are. And every time I try and adjust it to get it looking as real as possible, I'll have to come up with some frosty puns. That's no joke. Why frosty pun? Oh, I get it. Yeah. I see it. Well, you seen my video, the dreaded frosty bastard. What was it? Miniature painting myths of mine on my YouTube channel. People enjoy my YouTube stuff. I was going to make a new video today, but I have felt so ill the last 2 weeks. Like, proper rundown, proper not myself. Like, it's been awful. But I'm feeling better now. Right, what else should we go on about before I disappear because my battery's running out? And there you go. Brother Captain Tom, only just started watching your stuff last month, but loving it so far. Thank you. It really means something to me when I hear things like that or read things like that. It really means something to me because it's genuinely coming from me in that way. Alright? It's genuinely coming from me in that way. I'm not trying to be clever with anyone, and I'm not trying to be different. I'm not trying to be anything other than get your minds to engage in a different way to what you're used to. That's what gets me excited, is like getting you to realise that all the difficulties people have about painting are not because of what they don't know. It's generally because of what they do know or what they think they know. And once all that bullshit has been removed and you can see it for what it is, that's when your painting level goes up. And that's why I have the channel the way I have it. That's why I say things the way I say them. That's why I'm cryptic. That's why I'm a little bit weird. It's, some people don't like it. Well, if they can't see it, then that's their deficiency. It's as simple as that. If somebody can see something, you can. If somebody can see a way of something working and you can't, the guy that can see it should be listened to. Because he can see something you can't. That's how do you, it's got to be there because you can see it. The path through whatever obstacles, the way to solve whatever puzzle. If somebody can see it and you can't, you don't just go like that, oh, it's wrong that, because you can't see it. You've got to investigate what the guy is freaking saying, because you can see something you can't see, and how do you find out if he's seeing something that isn't there? Well, you've got to investigate it, investigate it. That's the point. Start investigating the way you think, so that's why you've got to change the way you think, and it's the things you think is what's stepping in your way. You know, so like the colour theory comment I made, a few people really disagreed with that, but they can disagree with it all they want, but no one knows why I said it. So how can they disagree with it? Nobody understands why I think about colour theory the way I think about it. Theory, whatever. Alright? So dismiss what I have to say all you want, but until you come to me and ask me, what did you mean by that? Oh, how? Well, why do you see it that way? Oh, and actually have some kind of discussion with me, then you're not going to learn shit, are you? You're just going to carry on with your assumptions. So I watched a few conversations happen like that, and I asked a couple of people some questions myself. In fact, I left a question on one of the commenters on the channel. I've not had a response yet, so but see what you think about my questions, see if you guys can come up with an answer. Steve, good evening, good sir. Have you seen Joker yet? You better add them. It's a good move, man. Grandpapa Nurgle, hello. How long have I been on this thread now? Because I might go and get me. In fact, I'm going to get me charger. I'll be back. It's a lot of fun reading the negative comments. So many close mine. What's your favourite negative comment? Yeah, what's your favourite negative comment? Do you remember one? Or pull one up. In fact, I have a question for you guys. You know I've started doing my painter of the video at the end. I can't do it on every video because it really adds to the length of the video. Whoops, and my phone memory can't hack it. But I'd like more painters of the vid. Now, I ain't gonna sit here and just choose the best paint jobs. There might be times I feel like doing that, but I didn't do a video today. I did try and think about who I'd choose as my next paint video. I ain't got a clue. So tag some people on, I suppose I should put an image up, shouldn't I? Or can you tag people on YouTube? You know, if people have like Google accounts and things like that. I don't know, do what you can, send a bunch of work my way via whatever means, Instagram or YouTube, not Facebook. Facebook's just no good. Instagram or YouTube. Yeah, so I can have a mooch. Tell me why you think they deserve a good old painter of the vid section. You know, yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm gonna choose them, or I'll agree or anything like that. But it's nice to know who's out there and who's doing what. You know. So yeah, you get like fluff in my eye. Might need to actually dust my apartment sometime. So yeah. Who's still here? Which 6 people? Let's see. Reese says, I'm all looking forward to the Top Table Gaming Weekender, which is next weekend. Yes, I am. Yes, I very much am. And we'll see. We'll see what goes down. I'm staying with the guys in a hotel or Airbnb or something up there. So I'll be there for the 3-day duration. So we'll see how I handle that. You know. So yeah, I'm going to be hanging around. There's going to be painting area for people to sit and paint and chill out and do whatever it is they need to do. I might bring my project with me. I might bring this guy with me, me Stormcast dude, and yeah, we'll just see, won't we? Should be a good day. There's I don't know if you know who Luke's APS is, but that guy's going to be there as well, so that should be nice. Painting Lemon, glad to see you still here. Why Painting Lemon? Why lemon? Brad Havers, hello. I've actually quite enjoyed this guy, you know. A little bit of a mix of styles have come out of me. Yeah, I've used a little bit of Soper inspiration in some areas. I've used the non-Mets is very much me. Just a little bit of heavy metal inspiration in some other areas. I'm about to start the gold. I'm working on that. But yeah, I've not let me mojo get back on. Yeah, I'm just starting pondering ideas for his magical stave thing, his magical staff. Because originally I was thinking do it all gold, and there's a part of me now thinking, do I go silver and gold? Yeah, I'm not too sure. Not too sure. Or do I do some bits? Do I bring colours into it other than metals, other than the jewel itself? You know, what do I start doing with it? But ultimately, I'll treat that as a separate object. It's got to be treated as a piece in its own right. Because you see, like, it's easy. This is good advice, this actually, by the way. If you start thinking divergently, what I mean by that is, if you start thinking about the whole model and painting all of it all of the time, you will get confused and you will get put off and you will get demotivated, and you'll say, oh yeah, I'm just not in the mood for it, can't be asked. That's because your brain is trying to think about, face, eyes, mouth, logo, blue shirt, background, and you try to think all at the same time. That's called a divergent focus. All right. Instead, start thinking convergently. Convergent means we're only gonna go this shiny reflection on his nose. Okay, done. Nice one. Right. Next one. Right. Next, what we'll do is we'll just take this shiny reflection on his nose, and we will take that reflection and just we'll do this one next. Boom. Right. Cool. And then this one next. Boom. All right. Okay. Well, I can see 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brilliant. Okay. Look, and you're just getting through it by being convergent instead of divergent. So it's the same when you look at armies. If you look at an army, you think, well, I've got all these units to paint, because you're looking at all the army, but you can't paint an entire army. You can only ever paint a line. So your painting always comes down to a line. Yeah. So just remember that. It's a line at a time. It could be the freaking Sistine Chapel. It's a line at a time. So you never get bored of that. You never get bored of that, no matter what the line is. That's what you're doing. See what I mean? So, I'm bored of Marines. I don't think you are. If you don't get bored of that, how can you get bored of a Marine? Oh, this is boring. But you never get bored of doing that. Aren't we funny creatures? convince ourselves of facts. Anyway, load of comments just flew in here. Brad Avers, brother Captain Tom says, do you ever play any games, Tommy? GW otherwise. I play Mario Kart. I was going to play it today, but I had a nap on the couch. And no, I don't. I don't really have anyone to play with. That vibes with me in Manchester. It's all about the vibe. Reese says, sounds good to be a laugh playing in the SBG tournament with Rieslands. Alright, okay, yeah. Yeah, it should be a laugh because those guys are great, really, aren't they? They're nice people to hang around with. That's the top table wargaming guys. Peter Lemon says, I think lemons look nice and you like to make things look nice. That's pretty much it. Can't disagree with that. Yeah, lemon's cool. Remember when that game came out on the Commodore Amiga years ago? No. What's my opinion of the chameleon two-tone paints? Do you mean like the flip-flop paints, the paints that are like gold and purple at the same time as you tilt it? Is that what you mean? Would I use it? I don't think I'd ever use it, but that doesn't devalue it. That just means I wouldn't use it. Chris, see you later, man. Have a lovely evening. Yeah, if we're around, we'll have a catch up. If I'm ever down south. Yeah, chameleon style paint. I personally don't care that much for it, but that doesn't mean anybody else should. I'd prefer to try and simulate a similar effect, which obviously wouldn't move, but I'd like to try and black the eye somehow, which is again what this guy was about. This guy was about making your eye look at the metal effect and go a bit funny, which when Matt, the manager of G-Dub, so his nails go funny, and it's like, okay, I've done it right. If somebody else is going to say it unprompted, then no, I've done some kind of job. Brother Captain Tom says, a line at a time on a shirt. I was thinking about t-shirts today. Do you know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of one, because I say a lot in a lot of me. Trying not to say it now. In a lot of my YouTube videos. So yeah, there you go. A line at a time. Yeah, a line at a time. I've got so many catchphrases and buzzwords from my private lessons. It's unbelievable. I've got my first event like in London, South East London, Bromford, in 2 weeks with Journeyman. They've got me doing a fundamentals course on the Saturday and the what do you call it? Non-Mets. I'm tired, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed, but I am pretty wasted. Yeah, my non-Mets course on the Sunday, fundamentals Saturday, non-Mets on Sunday. It's a great combination of courses. The non-Mets one is, I kind of don't look at it as a non-Mets course as much as I want people to go away with the ability to do non-metal metallics. I generally want people to realise it's not about doing gold and silver and bronze or whatever colours you choose. I choose to teach gold, by the way, on the course. It's the easiest to get your head around. Silver and steels and things like that, they're a different kettle of fish. Because too many people think it's about grey, and it's not about grey. grey. Far from it. I say far from it, it's not far from it, but yeah, it ain't about grey. But yeah, non-met, it's the non-mets course really is more about taking the fundamentals course and getting freaking good at it and adding in some extra ideas on how best to choose and place colours. That's really what it is. And I'm not sure how many of my students have really taken that part of it on board. Which is why I mean, I'd really love more of my students to spend more time with me. It's not about money, it's about getting so much more of the information that's in my head out of my head and into theirs. And those outlooks, because, and it's not about teaching them my style, it's about teaching them to find their style and understand how good, how well they can start to apply so much more knowledge that's all around them all the time. Reese, how would you go about booking some lessons with me? Send me an email, tuition@gold. Oh, message me on here. I mean, how hard is it going to be? You live in the same city as me, friend. Do you know what I mean? You know where I am. You know. You ask, we book a time. You know. PM me, innit? Simple as that. So yeah, tabletop painter. Good evening. It's actually turned out to be a nice chat, this. So it's probably going to go on YouTube. Yeah, it's fundamentals followed by non-mets. Fundamentals is about learning a new way of thinking and learning the facts about painting. Not this frigging methods everyone's trying to get you to follow along with. It's not about following guides. And then non-mets is about taking those fundamentals, the facts about painting, true facts about painting. And I can say that now. Do you know why I can say it? Because I didn't invent any of it. Nobody else did it either. It's like saying you invented the sunrise, isn't it? It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's not my way of doing things. The fundamentals course I teach is how I get you to understand what is really happening. Oh, there's 30 seconds remaining. I'm going to go on a mad one then. Thank you for coming. I have a Patreon page if anyone wants to support me doing this stuff. I'm trying to buy a van so I can travel easier to teach you. You know, and it's on, the links are on my YouTube channel, which is in my bio. And thank you for being here, and just thank you for chatting to me. I love yous.